Russ, just first of all, what is your initial reaction to this season coming to an end?
I mean, obviously you don't want to lose or go home, but one thing that's important that I uh, emphasize to the guys in the locker room that by any means we should have our head down. We did something that nobody um, thought we could even do in the middle of the season, and with that, we should be proud of the way we played this season. We fought through a lot of ups and downs, adversity, injuries, COVID. Um, so we should be proud of the way we, as a team, collectively, fought. That's a good team on the other side, and good luck to them.
I'm interested, when you joined this team, obviously it was pretty late in the offseason. Training camp had started. How did the way it went and end, I guess, how did the way it end measure up to the expectations that you had kind of set for this team in your own mind when you first joined?
I just wanted to come to a place and change the culture, bring my energy, my leadership, um, and make the guys around here better. And I feel like I was able to accomplish that in making guys better, better players, better people, better basketball players. Um, and then I can live with that. The result is always to fight as long as you can, and that's what we did. And I can live with results of guys leaving on the floor every single night, and I'm okay with that.
Fred?
Russell, you've obviously known Scotty for a really long time. What was it like now that you're done with the year? What was it like having gone through this reunion year with him? And what did you think of the job he did this year?
Oh man, it was amazing. Scotty has always been real close to me throughout my career, and to be reconnected with him is was just a blessing overall. And this year, man, he did a hell of a job. He did a job that I'm pretty sure people didn't think he was able to do. He kept us together. He kept us encouraged. He kept us fighting. He don't get a lot of credit for it, but like I've always mentioned, he deserves a lot of credit for putting us in position to be successful. Obviously we made some plays and did some things, but he put us in position. He put the things down to make sure that we're able to do every single night. And I'm thankful just to have a coach that trusts and believes so much in my abilities to allow me to go out and, you know, play my game, make mistakes, and find ways to better help, this team. And, he should be, applauded for the job he's done, with this ball club.
DA?
Oh, shit.
Whether it's with the group that's already there or that's already in your locker room, or if there need to be additions, what do you think the next step is? How does this team get to the next level?
I think we obviously got a lot of guys that we all got to come back better. But not just that. They're young, man. We got guys. It's funny. I was on the plane on the way here, and I'm talking to Rui and Daniel and Garrison, these guys, and I'm at Cash, like, how old are you? They're like 21, 22, 20. I'm just like, and I'm not even thinking about it when I thought about it when I got to my room. It's like, man, we got so many young guys. Denny, he was out, but he's 19, 20. It's important that they understand what it's like now to be in the playoffs, understand what it's like to be able to fight, understand what it's like to be able to not take nights off. And that's a part of my job, is to make sure that I'm here to make sure that that's instilled in them, that they understand that the little games we lost earlier in the year, those matter. The nights where you may be a little tired, those nights, those games matter. And with that, we still fought through and got ourselves in the playoffs, but understanding the importance of coming back each year better and being better players and being better pros is important, for our group.
You were really tight with Rui at times during the season. What does he got to bring back when he goes into the lab this summer?
I mean, Rui has so many different tools, man. He's so good and so talented. My challenge to him is to be able to try to do it every night. I think that's the most difficult thing to do in this league, and that's my challenge for him is because when he's able to do it at a level, we're a much better team. We're a better team when he's playing his best and just leaving out on the floor. So that's gonna be my challenge for him.
Scott.
Hey Russ, you obviously know the NBA is a business, but you're one of the leaders of this team, and you know the pulse of the locker room. You know the direction this team could be heading. Do you think it would be a mistake if the Wizards decide not to bring back Scott Brooks?
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as management, as far as ownership, that's not my decision. Me personally, I don't see why Scotty should go anywhere, and not just because we're close, but he done a hell of a job with our team, our program. Since I've been here, and I'm just around our team and the coaching staff, understanding how important his impact, was to this organization. And when I got here, I was able to see it, firsthand. He's still the same Scott, Coach Brooks, and he brings the intensity, brings the effort like he was playing, but he's a coach, and that's something you can't teach. That's something you can't have. So it was up to me. I don't think he should go anywhere.
Russ, you've been on a lot of different teams over your career. What do you appreciate most about this group of players you just played with this year?
Nobody quit, and to me, that shows so much when you have a group of guys that when everybody said that we weren't able to do something and got challenged, and I challenged everybody in the locker room. Nobody quit. Nobody gave up. Nobody gave in. We got a lot of guys on this team, man, that I'm just proud of overall that teams didn't want. They were third guys, G League guys, first year guys that nobody else wanted. And we put together a team that people wasn't afraid to play us, honestly. And, that's something we should be proud of. And I'm super proud of everybody in the locker room and just thankful to be able to have a group of guys that embrace me so well, from day one.
Ben Standing.
Hey, Russell, it's sort of as like a follow-up to that. Like you said, obviously ownership and management's going to make whatever decisions are ultimately going to come. But as a player of your stature in this league who's been around and done what you've done, do you anticipate having some sort of a voice in the process, or would you like to have one?
I mean, if it was up to me, like I said, Scotty not going anywhere. It's not even a question or a conversation to even be brought up. But if the conversation is brought to me, I'll definitely voice my opinion like I'm voicing it now, and see what happens.
And as far as the team goes, I know everything just sort of happened, but what's the thing that you guys either need to add or the thing to do for you guys to get to the next step?
Man, for me, I always, as a player, you always look around and you try to figure out what you need and how to get better and blah, blah, blah. I really believe in me as a player and believe that you play the cards you dealt. And what I mean by that is that whoever's on the roster, whoever's here, and then we just figure it out. And to me, that's just how I think. I can't control. This is a business. I can't control who comes back, who's traded, who's not. And I can't control what we have, but I can't control my actions and how I can help the people in the locker room and the cards that we have to make us the best team possible.
Chase.
Russ, after playing one season with this team and in this city, what do you think about just moving forward with them and building a future? Obviously, you had such a strong connection with your first franchise.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great, man. Obviously, COVID started off, it was a little different, couldn't do much, had to stay inside a lot, but opening up now a little bit and being able to enjoy the city, see more people, and see the fans. It's really been great, man. I'm looking forward to, especially next year, having kind of everything settled down and back to normal. And I'm looking forward to it.
All right, last question to Matt Paris.
Yeah, Russell, just following up on that, just how differently does the end of this year feel? how differently does the end of this year feel compared to, I don't know, coming out of Houston or even your last year in OKC, just having that, is there more security there or anything like that?
I mean, listen, I can't control what happens. All I can do is just show up to work and do my job. And with that, that's all I can do. Be professional, make sure I come back a better player. And that's all I can do.
Scott said that you and Russ spoke up a little bit in the locker room there. What was the message you wanted to leave the guys with?
First, I want to praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for this season, for a healthy year, and everything like that. But for the most part, man, it was just re-emphasizing, nobody should be, holding their heads down. Nobody really put us to be in the position we're in. Nobody expected us to be here. And I don't think anybody, sure enough, didn't think we'd take them to 5. I still strongly in my heart believe we could have took them to 7. They made more plays than we did, got more stops than we did tonight. But I mean, my message is, the ultimate thing was remember this feeling. A lot of guys, is their first time in the playoffs. So understand that, once, all the games during the season matter, especially the ones in your conference, playing against Charlotte, playing against Atlanta, playing against Orlando, those games we gave up earlier in the year, they count at the end of the year. So just keeping that in the back of our head and, understanding how we can better prepare ourselves and better put ourselves in a better position in the playoffs, having home court, having that mindset of being that caliber team, a playoff team. And so it was a good first go around for a lot of guys. It was definitely frustrating because we all want to do well and we all want to, contribute as best as we can. But, just remember the feeling and get in the gym. That's all we can do.
And all that being said, obviously, I'm sure you don't want to address it now, but do you see that you have a future with this organization? You said at the beginning of the season you wanted to see that they could put a winning infrastructure in place. Did they do enough to entice you to stay?
We're not going to think about that or even talk about it right now. The biggest thing for me is we battled the whole year. We didn't start off the year the way we wanted to. It was frustrating all around for everybody. I was frustrated at times, but I'm a very optimistic and I persevered through a lot of adversity. And I think we did that as a team. So for me, I think we just best put ourselves in a position to win, and we may do with what we had at times. We had a lot of guys out, a lot of different lineups throughout the year. So for the most part, I was happy with that. I was happy with the fact we competed and, we gave ourselves a chance at the end of the year. We obviously still need to get better. There's still we have a lot of room for improvement all across the board, but I haven't thought about none of that as of yet, Ava. Sorry.
Chase.
Brad, Russ just said that he'd like to see Scott Brooks back next year. Obviously, his contract, this was the final year. Just what did you think about the job that he did this season?
Man, it's just crazy. I've been with Scott, 5 years now, and every year's been different. And, he coaches his tail off. He goes out there and he's all about his team. He supports us and defends us and wants us all to do well. He's a true player's coach. And you don't see that often around the league. And, I've been appreciative of him. I feel like from the moment he got here, a facilitator, creator. He gave me the opportunity to be able to make plays and he put the ball in my hands. So I'll forever be grateful for him. And happy that I was able to, share these 5 years with him. Obviously, this is his last year. We don't know what the future holds. Obviously we talk to Ted, talk to Coach, in the next couple of days and even Shep and see what we're going to do. But I don't know. That's kind of out of my hands.
And you've been able to step your game up pretty much each of the last 6 years. As you look ahead to this offseason, I know it's just beginning, but what would you like to work on as you look ahead to next year?
I have no idea. I'm still processing this loss. Obviously, my main objective is always to make sure I'm better every year, and whatever that entails, I'm going to definitely take some time off, rest my body, and then, diving back into film, diving back into my game and my craft and figuring out, what's the next step, next level for me. Obviously, I've had a good year. Made All-Star, hopefully make All NBA, whatever the case may be. But eventually, I want to be an MVP caliber player. So maybe that's what's next. Just continue to push myself and be in better positions to succeed.
Fred.
Hey, Brad. The fluky stuff of the season aside, the COVID stuff and the injuries and all that, what do you feel like you guys as a team need to improve on going into next year?
Our defense, we gotta obviously. I mean, that's pretty obvious. We gotta defend better. We have to shoot better. We got to be able to shoot the ball better. I definitely wish I would have had a better 3-point shooting year than I had, but I think that goes for everybody. We got to be better with shooting the ball and defending. I think that's been our kind of Achilles heel all year. Our ability to be able to guard guys and knock down shots. So uh, we got to be better at that.
DA.
Brad, just wondering, a couple of years ago, the organization decided we're going to have to do things a little differently in terms of bringing some young guys in and doing that. And there was kind of uncertainty about what it was going to look like going forward. I wonder how different you feel about things going forward, knowing that Westbrook is going to be beside you now, and his impact on the team will continue going forward.
Like I said earlier, I haven't thought past tonight, but having Russ here was unbelievable. I've done nothing but cherish his presence since the moment he got here, and he's done nothing but welcome me with open arms and vice versa. So, that's promising. In a lot of ways. You definitely, especially for somebody who wants to be here too. That definitely lifts me up in a lot of ways. But we both know we got to be better. We both know we have to be the leaders of the organization, and and guide us a lot better than what we did. So I don't know. I haven't thought past it honestly. Past tonight, but Russ is a good cornerstone to any franchise. Then we made some really good moves, adding Gafford, who's been a great lob threat rim protector for us, the whole second half of the year. Rolo's the hook king for us. We had a lot of guys, in the last year, their contracts who, went out here and gave it their all and competed their tails off. So, I mean, obviously we have a lot of tough decisions to make in the off season. But, with the guys that we had, they really stepped up and performed. We seen Rui grow the whole year. And everybody, everybody really stepped up when it mattered. So
Yeah.
you can always be appreciative of that.
I know recruiting is kind of an ongoing thing and it never really stops. You feel like you are able to make a pitch now to free agents? Like we got something here where this thing's going in the right direction now.
I hope so. I mean, obviously, hopefully teams watch us and, see what we're capable of doing and see how we compete. We're a very competitive team. We don't care who it is. Everybody laces their shoes up just like we do, and we're going to go out and we're going to compete and play hard and get out and play fast. That's who we are and that's what we do. DC is an unbelievable market, true sports town. So I don't see why nobody wouldn't want to be interested in coming to DC. Obviously, recruiting is definitely tough. It's ongoing, like you said. So I'm definitely looking forward to the summer, and my recruiting will definitely start tonight or tomorrow. But for the most part, it's just taking a break and just reflecting on the year and see how we can be better moving forward and how our team can be better.
Matt Paris.
Hey, Brad, as DA was saying, obviously there's been a lot of changes, and the end result, from the last time you guys made the playoffs, is still the same, a first round exit. So I guess does it feel different now being in the moment? Like, does it feel any different compared to the last time that you were in the playoffs? And your season ended the way you didn't want it to?
Yeah, I feel like they're definitely two different series. I think that Toronto series, I don't know. I feel like they kind of whooped our butt every game in that series. And this one, I feel like we were in control of a lot of it, and we were in it. So, and they're two totally different teams too. So, on both sides. So I'm definitely. I mean, you can be proud of what we did, but obviously there's no moral victories. So you tip your hat off to Philly, who they came out and executed their game plans on a nightly basis, and they got us out of here.
And you know how kind of the machine works of there are going to be articles about your future, and you'll do the best to ignore that, et cetera, et cetera. But I guess just being in this situation for so long now that you have been, because it's been going on for a while, just what have you learned from actually having to deal with that? And is there anything you learned specifically this year about kind of the gravity of rumors or everything like that?
Ultimately, I'm in control. Like I'm not. I think that's my biggest thing is people can report whatever they want, but I know where my mind is, and I know if it's not coming from the horse's mouth, then I'm just gonna be rumors. So I mean, I expect them. I mean, they're starting now, so I mean, it doesn't change anything. I mean, they're definitely going to increase a lot more this year when we going into the last year of my deal. But for me, I'm relaxing and resting my body, and we'll evaluate all that once summer comes. I meet with Ted, meet with Shep.
Neil.
Hey, Brad, I know you do a much more thorough assessment and reflection on the season, in the coming weeks. But when you look back right now and everything you guys have gone through, do you look at the season positively? You talked a lot about, getting back to having fun. Is that something that you feel came back this season?
Always, man. I think that's one thing I always try to remind, my teammates and anybody who plays the game, even my AU kids. Like, it's easy to lose sight of why you play the game. Because whether you're pressing or whether you want to do so well to win or contribute to the team, it's very easy to lose sight of, why you play the game, when you were 5, 6, it's because it was fun. You embraced it. You loved it. Nothing changes from being, at the highest level ever. So, it's the same motto, same mentality, embracing the stage you're on, understanding and trusting your work. You worked your tail off to be where you are. So have fun in the game, go out and give it your all and understand that you put in the work to be where you are and just let it go out there and shine.
And obviously you've been, very complimentary of Russ before. This will be your first season after playing with him, going to the off season. Do you think that his mentality that he's instilled with you can even help you take your off season game to another level?
Oh, for sure. I mean, just his persona, and who he is and what he's about, is all exemplary. You take pieces of what he does and his approach to the game and his focus and his confidence, and you definitely try to, mix it into what you have going. So it's been great, man. It was an easy adjustment for me to play off of him. It's so crazy to hear all the rumors of how difficult he would be with, to play with, but it's been the complete opposite. He's been very heartwarming. He's a great teammate, and he just competes. He wants to win, and those are the guys I want to be surrounded by. So it's only the stepping stone.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah.
Last question to Ben.
Hey, Brad. There's a saying that comic book fans know: with great power comes great responsibility. This organization has entrusted you with a lot of power from a standpoint of really kind of building the team around you these last couple of years. I'm just wondering, from everything you've experienced, what have you learned about that responsibility, and how do you think you've ultimately handled it?
Well, I think I've handled it good or solidly. I understand that not everybody in the league has power and control, or let's say so, in the organization. So it's something I don't take for granted. It's something that I'm very appreciative of and thankful for. And just understanding the history of this organization and You know, going from, you know, John to transitioning to me, like it's been wild, you know, but I embrace every single step and every moment of it. And, you know, not, like I said before, not everybody has that opportunity to be, you know, a franchise cornerstone or that piece that, you know, they look to build around. So, you know, I don't take it for granted that, you know, that just motivates me and pushes me to get better and be better. I still have a lot I can be better at and improve on in terms of my leadership and what I do on the floor. But for the most part, man, I was pretty satisfied.
All right, Brad. Appreciate you, man.
Daniel, I don't know if you've even had a chance to really think about this yet, but how would you summarize this year for yourself, considering how eventful it was in so many ways? And would you consider this season for you guys a success?
You know, it was just a lot of up and down for me. You know, it was I would say a lot of, you know, discouragement when it came to just what I was able to do for a team in any situation. You know, I was at Chicago and I was just trying to figure out that situation and just basically, you know, figure out me and be able to do the things that I could do to be successful on the team in Chicago, certain things like that. Then I got traded. And, you know, this is no disrespect to Chicago. You know, I love Chicago, from coaches, staff, players, you know, anybody. You know, Chicago, you know, I felt like was home for the, you know, year and a half that I was there. But I mean, you know, it's a business part of it. And then coming here to Washington, like I tell everybody, you know, it was a new start for me. So just all the events, certain things that I did, that all happened because of just, you know, the opportunity that I was given here. I just came here, I locked in mentally, and I decided that I wasn't going to take anything for granted. You know, I had an opportunity in Chicago, and I took that for granted. You know, so I just came and locked in, and I took care of my business here. I didn't want to go back down the road that I was going to Chicago. I felt like every day I wasn't doing the things that I needed to do to be successful on that team. And if I felt like I was holding the team back night in, night out, and I'm pretty sure like it's a lot of people that were saying the same thing. So once again, like I came here to Washington, and it was just, you know, a whole different story for me. Just decided to lock in, come out, and play hard every night. You know, it's a lot of things that just showed me that whenever I just actually take the opportunity and work during that opportunity, I'll be fine. That's my main thing.
And what do you feel like heading into the off season? What do you feel like is the aspect of your game that you're going to try to work on the most?
Most definitely just, you know, add as much weight as I can possibly do. You know, there was a lot of games and stuff that I was exposed down low. I was getting pushed around. You know, I take, you know, I take pride in doing things like that because, you know, I battle with guys like, you know, like tonight I was battling with Dwight Howard. I battled with Joel Embiid, you know, battling with guys that are not 9 times out of 10, 10 times bigger than me. So I want to be in a position to where, you know, I can push guys around too. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, just really just putting on some pounds for sure. Working on my conditioning because I mean, you know, I'm getting the minutes that, you know, that I'm working for, and I mean I can't be out there gassed. So, you know, if I want to play 20 plus minutes every night, my conditioning has to be top tier. So that's really gonna be a big thing for me. And just really just, you know, working on little things. You know, if I catch the ball in the paint, being able to dribble it and not, you know, get it stolen or anything like that. I have worked on that before, but it's just like, you know, I do it in the game and I get hesitant, and it's a lot of just, you know, I'm just stuck in the moment and I can't really do anything about it. So those are the main 3 things, really just working on that conditioning, strength, and really just being about better decision making when it comes to me playing out of the pocket.
Chase.
Hey, Daniel, we've heard that Russ and Brad addressed the team after the game in the locker room about how you guys should be proud about the way the season went. What did they say, and what was your takeaway from that?
Yeah, they said we should be proud because of the things that we did this season. Oh, they didn't nobody give up. Didn't nobody, you know, lay down and just accept the fact that, you know, we were going to be out of the playoffs or anything like that. Like when I came here, there was no there was no like head down, bad vibes, anything. You know, we came out and we played for something every night. You know, it was some ups and downs during that time. You know, so it was a lot of losses that we felt like we shouldn't have lost. But other than that, we just kept fighting. You know, we stayed together as a team and we helped each other, motivated each other, and just came in with smiles on our faces and came in ready to work. You know, we knew what time it was every time we stepped on the floor. And being there for each other as a team, that was the main thing that helped us get through it. We stayed together, we stayed locked in as a unit, and we got to where we are today. You know, we hate the outcome of it, but same time, you know, there was a very low percent chance of the Wizards being in the playoffs. And we changed that narrative. You know, we started from the ground up and worked our way back up to be in this position that we were in today. You know, like I said, we hate that we lost, but you know, we worked to get in this position.
And Coach Brooks was talking about you and said he views you as sort of like a lottery pick. I think he said maybe even like a top 5 pick. Now that you've had some success in this league at 22, just what do you think about your own potential?
If I stay locked in mentally, work on my consistency, I mean, I can be in this league for a long time. You know, there's probably a lot of people in the world that probably would, you know, disagree with that, but that's their opinion. My opinion is that I'm gonna make it in this league. It's just that.
DA.
Hey, Gaff, I was wondering, what do you think? You said you wanted to try to put on a little bit of weight this summer. What do you think you can hold and still maintain your athleticism?
I don't know. I hadn't really even thought about that. But you know, I'm gonna push myself to the limit for sure. Get as big as I can.
And you know, you brought a verticality to this team that they didn't have this year. What's, I guess, defensively, other than being able to hold your spot down in the post, are there other things that you want to work on defensively, especially that you think you can get better at?
Most definitely guard 1 through 5. I mean, tonight, you know, Ben Simmons, I was having to guard Ben Simmons most of the times down the floor, and he was just going at me. You know, Tobias Harris, he was going at me. Anybody that I was guarding, you know, they were going at me. It was times where I stood my ground, but most of the times I was getting blown by, getting a layup shot on me, or I was fouling. So just being better defensively, working on just being able to contain 1 through 5. Because, I mean, there's going to be a lot of situations to where it's going to be guys that try to pull me out and expose me, and I don't want that to happen. I want to be one of those bigs that can be able to guard every position when it comes down to it.
Matt Paris.
Hey Daniel, I'm kind of curious, like for your conditioning. I mean, if you add weight, will you being heavier, like will that affect the conditioning aspect of it at all? Like, are you worried that kind of putting on too much weight will affect like whether you'd be winded in games or anything like that?
There's no telling. You know, I mean, that would be something that I would have to deal with when the time comes, I would say. And if it comes to that, you know, I'm going to have to cut them pounds off.
Thanks.
Neil.
Hey, Daniel, obviously, you know, it's been a crazy 3+ months for you. Coming here, you had the injury as well. When Russ and Brad are, you know, constantly in your ear and, you know, motivating you, how much, you know, extra does that make you want to go into the offseason and come back even better?
It motivates me a lot. You know, you got 2 great players in your ear saying that you can do a lot in this league. You know, it's just remain consistent and stay motivated. It means a lot because that's exactly what I'm about to go through. You know, take this little break. You know, it's been somewhat of an up and down season for me in general. But other than that, once I get my break out of the way, I'm back in the gym, working out for sure, just working on my craft because I want to be the best I can be year in, year out. I don't want to, you know, just have this good second half of the season that I've had and then come back next year and then what happened to Daniel Gafford. I don't want that to happen. So most definitely my mentality is to get as better as I possibly can during the offseason because, you know, just coming back next year, we want to be the best we can be. We want to be playing in the same spot that we were in this year for sure. maybe even higher. So, sky's the limit at this point.